Hey guys! Welcome to the Turkish Spotlight Secrets channel. All the details are in our video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share our video before continuing. Thank you so much. For days, entertainment pages have been humming with relentless chatter about Barış's Arduç, each new claim louder than the last, each whisper painting a different picture. Last night, that buzz reached a fever pitch when Barış stepped forward and delivered a statement that changed the conversation in an instant. He had been holding back, choosing silence as storms gathered, but that restraint ended with words that burned through the rumors like a flare in the dark. He rejected the swirling claims with a decisive tone and, without hesitation, spoke from the heart about Elçin Sangu. Elçin is the person my heart chooses. I have never imagined a future tied to anyone else, and I do not intend to. The line landed with the kind of weight that makes a room fall quiet. For weeks, the gossip cycle had spilled out across timelines, talk of a supposed secret intimacy, alleged shadows where there should have been trust. Fans who adore the duo were sharply divided, posting speculations and defenses in equal measure. Supporters waited for clarity, and skeptics waited for fuel. All of them waited for Barış. When his message arrived, the silence ended, and headlines began. Those close to the actor say the noise around him had begun to gnaw at the edges of his calm. He knew the narrative was shifting beyond his control, and he refused to let ungrounded talk chip away at something he treasures. On set, he carried an intensity that was hard to miss, a focus that masked a deeper worry. Crew members described him as tense but unwavering, as if he had decided that if his personal life was going to be discussed, it would be in his own voice, not through the echo of speculation. Beside him, Elçin moved with a stillness that felt like strength. Those who know her say she accepted the chatter without surrendering to it. She watched, measured, and waited for the moment to pass, or for truth to cut through it. When Barış finally laid everything out, there was a visible lightness in her posture, a quiet exhale that said more than any caption could. Her calm didn't crack, it settled, as if the foundation beneath the two of them had been tested and proven firm. Their connection, admired by audiences, debated by columnists, had been one of the brightest threads in celebrity conversation this season. With one timely declaration, that bright thread looked less like a rumor and more like a promise. The impact on social platforms was immediate. The pairing's name soared into trending territory, and comments poured in by the thousands. Some called the confession sweeping and romantic, while others felt a hint of fierce protectiveness in his words, an unmistakable claim made in public view. There was one question circling everywhere: does a statement like that foreshadow a very big step? Engagement? Vows? A life shared beyond the frame? No one knows. But the tone of the speculation changed from cynical to hopeful in a heartbeat. Behind the scenes, the story grew even more layered. Insiders suggested that Barış had reached a tipping point, realizing that silence can sometimes be mistaken for surrender. He didn't want the chatter to bruise his career or the delicate, fiercely guarded connection he has with Elçin. Between shots and costume changes, he was said to be glued to his phone, forwarding updates, checking in with her, making sure they were aligned on what mattered. He spoke about how unsettling it felt to see narratives he never wrote take flight, and he did not hide his frustration. The statement didn't just ricochet through tabloids, it moved the industry, too. Directors and producers who have worked with them are said to be watching their real-life chemistry with growing curiosity. A few projects, rumor has it, have been tweaked, tiny script adjustments, dialogue with a new subtext, scenes shaded with the electricity of a partnership audiences can't stop talking about. One producer, asked off the record, reportedly sighed and said, "Barış and Elçin spark on camera in a way you can't manufacture. It spills over to the crew, and it jumps through the screen." In the quiet after the storm, friends of Elçin say she feels clearer than ever. Her presence at Barış's side is no accident, it is a choice she continues to make even when the world is loud. She has been careful with her calendar lately, stepping around media traps without retreating from the spotlight. Despite the noise, she hasn't lost sight of who he is to her. It is the posture of someone who refuses to let attention dictate affection. The buzz, of course, has been relentless. Fans now regard the relationship as steadier, more grounded, even prophetic of bigger news. Some read his message as a vow dressed in everyday language. Others simply felt relief, at last, a plain expression of what many had believed all along, captured in a single night and a few unmistakable sentences. There is even talk of a joint project shimmering on the horizon, something that could arrive sooner than expected, reuniting them on screen with a new frame of meaning behind every look and line. If the rhythm of this week tells us anything, it's that something has shifted. His firmness, her steady grace, the synchronized calm in the noise, together, they hint at a new chapter. Every entertainment page waits for the next line to drop, every mic is turned toward their names. The world is listening for what comes after the declaration. Then came the second swell. With speculation cooled but not extinguished, new claims trickled into comment sections and anonymous tips. Schedules were cited, Barry's packed days, Elçin's rising number of projects. Would time pull them apart, or would they bend it to fit each other? The story many sources tell is quiet and simple, they find the minutes no one sees. Late dinners without photographs, walks without captions, private rituals carried out away from lenses. This is not secrecy for its own sake, but a way of building something real without inviting the echo chamber. Some corners of the tabloid machine tried to cast shadows again, perhaps hoping to keep the cycle spinning. A few pundits wrote that public figures are destined to be consumed by their own fame, that attention always demands repayment. Others pushed back, arguing that the latest wave of chatter feeds on their popularity, not on truth. One columnist summed it up plainly, the rumor mill needs its fuel, but this pair is too disciplined to feed it. If you listen to the couple's friends, the pattern is unmistakable. Loyalty holds the center. Trust is not a slogan but a habit. The people around them see it in little gestures and in bigger choices, how they navigate time apart, how they protect time together, how they answer questions without handing over their privacy. If the statement was a shield for him, it was also a shelter for her. And beyond the words, his actions have echoed his promise. Meanwhile, the outpouring online has taken on a celebratory tone. Fans pour over every new photo where they appear together, circling the details with breathless excitement. Matching glances, interlaced hands, the way his smile changes when she's beside him. The pairing's name keeps climbing the trending lists, drawing in not just dedicated fan clubs but casual observers who can't resist watching a real-time love story unfold in the glow of public fascination. Many insist that what he shared wasn't just a romantic flourish, it sounded like the outline of a future. A few even say they've been waiting months for exactly that kind of clarity. And so the question lingers in the air like perfume, was this simply a rebuttal to rumor, or the first flag planted on a larger map? The industry's whispers, the rearranged scripts, the careful calendars, the private check-ins, they paint a picture of two people who, beneath all the spectacle, are choosing each other with intent. If a new project does arrive with both of their names above the title, it will land on an audience now reading every scene as a conversation between fiction and something more. Through it all, the tone has matured. The noise of accusation has faded into the distance, replaced by a quieter, warmer hum. The story now is consistency. It is the way a single evening's truth can reset the narrative, can turn a storm of doubt into a corridor leading forward. When he said what he said about Elçin, the axis shifted, not toward scandal, but toward substance. Observers in production rooms and editing bays say they can already feel the difference. There is a kind of electricity that arrives when authenticity meets craft. A line spoken in a scene now carries an extra meaning because the faces saying it are attached to something real beyond the script. It is not a marketing plan, it is a chemistry that refuses to be contained by the camera. Friends close to Elçin describe her in 3 words: poised, resolute, luminous. The days since the statement have not found her hiding, if anything, they have found her clearer in interviews, more precise in what she will share and what she will hold tight. She is careful without being guarded. She listens without bending. When asked about the tide of affection from the public, she smiles and says gratitude is easy when you know where you stand. As for Barış, those who work with him say a certain tension has left his shoulders. The decision to speak came at the right moment. He could have let the rumors run their course, but he chose a different script, one where he writes the lines, where he defends what matters, where he anchors the story in his own voice. In private, he is said to be lighter, but not lax. He knows the world loves a sequel, and he wants the next chapter to unfold on his terms. In the corridors where deals are made, new possibilities are being weighed. A joint interview, perhaps, or a carefully timed appearance. A project that lets the world see them in a new register. The conversations are cautious but excited, like producers standing at the edge of a stage just before the curtain rises. The fans, meanwhile, continue their vigilant watch. They do not need fireworks to stay invested. A candid glance, a hand at the small of a back, an ordinary afternoon stroll. These details are enough to carry the story forward. The audience is choosing tenderness over spectacle, and in that choice, something beautiful is happening. The rumor that they tried to withstand has been replaced by a chorus of goodwill. Where does it go from here? Perhaps toward a milestone that requires no scriptwriter, perhaps toward a stronger silence that speaks volumes. Perhaps both. The only certainty is that the air around them is charged with possibility. They have faced the clamor and stayed intact, and now the path ahead looks less like a maze of headlines and more like a road they can walk at their own pace. This was the week when a statement cut through the noise and delivered a message as clear as sunlight. This was the week when steadiness outshone speculation. This was the week when a pair we've watched for years reminded us that behind the role and the rumor sits a truth that only two people need to hold, and they are holding it. This brings us to the end of our video. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to subscribe to the Turkish Spotlight Secrets channel and share it. Goodbye.